Holyland, a manga about fighting people or something. I don't know, I didn't read it. Good. Kamishiro got that dog again. He's the best part of the story and what's heavily focused on. His character development. He starts as this timid kind boy with no self-confidence at all, that dislikes fighting, to taking pride into his fighting abilities to prove that he isn't weak. I also like the slow and gradual design change as the anger and darkness slowly comes out of him. Bad. The plot is kind of generic if you deconstruct and take apart everything that makes Holyland, Holyland. Like, looking past the cool fights and characters, the drug plotline is alright at best. It also kind of gets repetitive. Sure, it doesn't follow the shonen style battles, but it builds itself up a reputation. Kamishiro gets defeated, Kamishiro learns a different technique, or something about himself, and then beats his opponent. I won't hold anything against it because repetition is alright to me as long as it doesn't get overbearing, which it doesn't. It's just noticeable to a degree. Good. The fights. How could I not talk about this? This is what Holyland is known for. This is what Holyland is about. The fights are framed realistically and follow real life rules and techniques. This is where the art really gets to shine. You can feel a punch or kick blown. When a character gets a mortal blow somewhere, you feel like they could potentially be dead or severely injured. It also shows tactics, offensive or defensive, and the fights basically tell the story of Holyland. I mean, look at these text explanations. Jesus Christ. Bad. When the art is not in fight mode, it's kind of not so spectacular. I mean, it's not horrendous, but it's just meh. It works for how grounded in reality the story is, but just looking at it at the surface level with no context, it kind of looks ugly. My favorite thing is looking at these more detailed renditions of the characters that look like they belong at a bootleg ride at a fair. This isn't to say the art is all bad. There are some nicely drawn panels that I enjoy. Bad. Adding on to this, the other characters besides the main four characters are kind of bland in one note. The main villain is forgettable. The female main girl, just feels like a plot device to keep the story going and doesn't have any character growth, or character to even grow on. Good. Chapter 74. For context, I did not totally read this on Manga, a website that allows you to read manga and comment your thoughts on each chapter. In this chapter, Masaki is engaged in a fight where the other person has a knife. And oh boy, were the comments wild on this one. It was constant bickering on how the manga didn't tell accurate information and saying the author didn't know how to fight and whatnot. But if you look and actually read the manga, it states before all this that fighting with a knife, that this is the last-ditch effort if all other means of escape are not available. So here's a lovely montage of the comments.
Been a little while, but I'm still battling, moving fast while you just prattling. No time for me, no tangling. Hit you in the spot with no angling. A lot of anger in it. Flash rhymes, quarter with spangles. Add some sounds in the times. Wangles, 3 dots connect to rectangles. Just like music sounds connect them rambles. Hell nah, no man can run away.
Bad. The start of the manga is slow. The initial hook is interesting, but the whole judo arc is pretty boring and tough to get through. It only starts to get its footing around the karate arc. When Holyland really gets good, it's good, which is around chapter 50 when Kamishiro realizes that he has that dog in him. And it stays consistent after that. Good. Lastly, Holyland has some funny moments and emotional ones too, for all my heroine addicts out there. Rating. Holyland gets a low A tier for me. Bye.